Reading from Bhagavad-Gita as it is, a chapter entitled Karma Yoga, chapter 3, text 28. Tattva-vittu mahabaho guna karma vibhagayo guna guneshu vartanta iti matva na sajjate. Tattva-vittu mahabaho guna karma vibhagayo guna guneshu vartanta iti matva na sajjate. Anyone else?
One more.
Text and commentary by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, Almighty Armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work and devotion and work for fruit of results. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth. O mighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work and devotion and work for fruit of results. Purport. The knower of the absolute truth is convinced of his awkward position in material association. He knows that he is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, and that his position should not be in the material creation. He knows his real identity as part and parcel of the Supreme, who is eternal bliss and knowledge, and he realizes that somehow or other he is entrapped in the material conception of life. In his pure state of existence, he is meant to dovetail his activities in devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. He therefore engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness and becomes naturally unattached to the activities of the material senses, which are all circumstantial and temporary. He knows that his material condition of life is under the supreme control of the Lord. Consequently, he is not disturbed by all kinds of material reactions, which he considers to be the mercy of the Lord. According to Srimad Bhagavatam, one who knows the absolute truth in three different features, namely Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is called Tattvavit, for he knows also his own factual position and relationship with the Supreme. Translation once again. One who is in knowledge of the absolute truth, Almighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the differences between work and devotion and work for fruitive results. Om Jnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunminitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukad Karotu Vachalam Pangum Nagate Karim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Sri Gurum Dinitarine Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Shrayam Rupa Kadamayam Datati Sva Patantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuttapada Kamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghudanatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Pate Kopisa Kopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneswari Vrishavan Sutdevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Trivascha Kripa Sindhuevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So, Vadanti tattva vidas Tadvam tadyanam agyam brahmeti paramatmeti Bhagavan iti sabdyate. Sutta Goswami is telling the sages at Namisaranya in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1 to 11, 1.2 11, that learned transcendentalists who know the absolute truth call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So we know the example of the Prabhupada mentions in the purport the sun god and the sun rays. So there's by different angles of vision, one can understand the absolute in the we know that there's the sun rays, we know that there's the sun planet, but not everyone knows that there's a personality of the sun, a predominating deity of the sun. But according to the Vedas, Krishna mentions also in the Gita that the living entities are sarvagataha. They are pervading everywhere. So not only on the sun planet, or in the air or in the water, but the living entity is pervaded everywhere. Sarvagataha. So the sun, as we know it by materialistic understanding, we don't know the complete picture of what the sun globe entails. But according to the Vedas, there is a personality who lives in the sun. So, by different angles of vision, Krishna is explaining here that the absolute truth can be known, namely by the impersonal conception, the partial local or partial conception of the absolute in his feature as Paramatma, and in his supreme majesty as the supreme personality of Godhead, personality Sri Krishna, and who is Swayam Bhagavan, full opulence, full six opulences. Can someone remember what those six opulences of the Lord? Please raise your hand. Yes. She raised her hand first. Yeah. Beauty, fame, wealth. I can't hear. Renunciation, knowledge, and strength. Yeah. So the incomplete knowledge of the absolute is not conceived in its full aspect as the Swayam Bhagavan. They see the external manifestation or the external energy of the Lord as the Brahman effulgence, and so that's a partial understanding. Then the second one, as we mentioned, is the Paramatma feature, knowing that the Lord resides within the heart. Actually, many years ago, I gave a class in my home temple in Boston, Massachusetts, and I repeated what I read in the Bhagavad-Gita, where it's described that Krishna, the size of Krishna within the heart is the size of the thumb, right? Something like that. And the devotee, he couldn't fully understand what I was saying. Of course, not that I fully understand myself everything in the Vedas, but that's what's described in different aspects. Krishna is described differently also, not just as the size of a thumb. He's described differently in other places also, in his Paramatma feature. But anyhow, so many people in the world that are in the mode of goodness, that are following some form of religion, they can appreciate that the Lord is residing within the heart of every living entity like that, mostly. So that's in the mode of goodness. And then further is the Bhagavan feature, as I mentioned, in six opulences, the full majestic Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of knowledge, renunciation, fame, strength, wisdom, and beauty. So there's many similarities in regards to what relationship the living entities in this material world have with the Supreme Lord. For example, what we have, according to our understanding, the 5 direct relationships mentioned in the Bhagavad-Gita and the 7 indirect ones. The 5 direct ones we know that are Sakya Ras, Vatsalya Ras, Madhurya Ras. And then the last two ones are in neutrality and in friendship, right? Servitude, I'm sorry, yeah. Right. And then the indirect ones are a little more, we don't really know them all. The indirect ones are ghastliness, violence, does anyone? The 7 indirect rasas. No? Okay, I think we have to study the Bhagavad-Gita. So, but we can also appreciate the different people who follow different paths. For example, like in the Christian tradition, there's different lines. For example, most like I think Mother Teresa. I think her name is Mother Teresa. Who's from Europe, the one that was from Calcutta, Mother Teresa. That line of nuns, they worship Jesus as a baby. I'm sorry, as their husband. It's not exactly like our perception of Madhurya Rasa, but it is, you could say it maybe that it's like in Svakya Rasa. And then in the Catholic religion, they worship Jesus as a baby also. There's different groups like that. So we all in the Vaishnava tradition, there are many people, they worship Ladu Gopal. Ladu Gopal as a, with a little ladu in his hand, So Krishna is very condescending. I'm sorry, that's not the word. He is very accommodating, and so according to the desire within the heart of the living entity, he makes himself known. Just like in Buddhism, they generally only worship the Brahman effulgence like that. So according to one's capacity for understanding the absolute, then they're given, according to their desire, then they're given their access to understanding of the absolute truth according to their karma, like that. But in the Vaishnava tradition, or generally in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, we know that Krishna, the Swayam Rupa Bhagavan Krishna, in Goloka Vrindavan, he has two aspects. He has the Swakiya Rasa and the Parakiya Rasa. So according to one's desire, then Krishna, he shows himself in accordance with Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. The absolute can be revealed in this way. So Prabhupada mentions in today's purport about not the knower and the known. Prabhupada also gives the example of trying to, by using a material sound, we can't understand. We can never know we can never know what it really is by comparison. If we chant some mundane sound like Prabhupada explains Coca-Cola, We cannot we cannot know what that is. That is, I mean, it's not absolute. So the knower, but in the spiritual world, Prabhupada explains that the knower and the known are the same. There's no difference. And then Prabhupada explains that in today's verse, purport, that the living entity, we know that we're entangled in the material energy and material existence, and we know that we're the part and parcel of the Supreme. So we therefore engage ourselves in activities of Krishna consciousness, and naturally we can become unattached to the activities of the material senses, which are circumstantial and temporary. So naturally we can become unattached to material to sense gratification by absorbing ourselves in activities of the absolute, devotional service, bhakti-yoga, like this, through the process of dovetailing. So Prabhupada uses the word dovetail here. Of course, dovetail, everyone knows, means to couple all our activities, whether they are completely purified or not, as long as we're sincerely trying to engage all our senses in the service of the Lord. This is explained in the Bhagavatam also that whether pure or impure, everything we do should be going in that direction, like that. And so by dovetailing, so whether we're doing, of course we don't want to engage in karma kanda. Strictly speaking, nobody in this assembly is engaging in karma kanda. But we may have prarabdha karmas, and so therefore we should couple all of our activities with the holy name. It is explained that Krishna explains to Arjuna that we should abandon all varieties of religion or dharma, and just surrender unto him. And the supreme occupation of the living entity is in this age, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is to engage in the Yuga Dharma of chanting the holy names Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So whatever we do, Krishna also says that we should do that for Krishna. But more important, we should couple it with the chanting of the holy names, specifically in congregational chanting. The chanting, the individual chanting on individual on the one's prescribed chanting on japamala is there, but Mahaprabhu has ordered that that the Sankirtan is the real activity for Kali Yuga, the congregational chanting, because there's more Shakti, there's more potency and more power in chanting in congregation. So everyone can do this. It's not that people living in the temples can do it. Only people living in an ashram, but anybody can do in their home, as you all must certainly be doing, chanting with your family members and friends. And so that's the recommended process in Kali Yuga. So this is knowledge of the absolute truth, engaging all of our senses, not in sense gratification. Of course, there's material sense gratification and spiritual sense gratification, but we should perform all of our activities in accordance with the injunctions and the regulations and orders and instructions of the authorized acharyas and saintly people that can lead us in the proper direction. So. Yesterday's verse was about prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. And then in the purport, Prabhupada goes on to explain there's two persons, one person in material consciousness and the other person in spiritual consciousness. So this is all done through Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, and this is the process recommended to get free of the false ego by performing sadhana bhakti in practice. So there's ample opportunity for performing bhakti-yoga in this age of Kali Yuga. So is there any questions, anybody? Any questions or comments? The seven indirect rasas. It's explained in the. I don't know which page it's on, but it's right here. It's ghastliness is one of them, and I'm sorry. There's a second microphone somewhere. Say that again? I missed it again. I missed it.
No, I said generally it's described that the secondary rasas are prominent when the five primary are not so prominent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they can be mixed also. There's, yeah,
But those main rasas weren't the five primary.
right. Yeah, like we could say when Kamsa was telling his sister Devaki that we shouldn't worry about, the death of anyone because the soul is eternal, and so he's speaking Krishna conscious philosophy, but but he's trying to make up for his atrocity.
I think it's interesting that even amongst the five primary rasas, the Santa rasa, neutrality, some Vaishnavacharya don't accept that
Right.
as because there's no rendering of service yet.
Right.
So that they consider the beginning of dasya different considerations.
Right. This because my understanding is that we don't we concentrate more on the other four. The neutrality is you could say it's sort of like in limbo. But you have like the stones, and now not here, but in the spiritual world, the stones are persons, the cows are persons. So, but their rasa is that of a stone, for example, which is not intimate. So it's in that sense is. So yeah, I've heard that before also.
Prabhupada says in one place that, you have your prominent primary rasa, there's no limitations. Let's just say, for example, you're a cowherd boy, but you want to serve Krishna temporarily in another way as a flower or something like that, you can do it.
Right.
And then you go back very quickly to your primary rasa.
Right. Although I'm not sure that the other one would be called a secondary rasa per se, because it's not really the real thing. I mean,
Becoming a flower? I know what you're referring to.
yeah, becoming a flower is there, but
I just threw that in there. It's not necessarily like you were saying.
no. Well, I agree with you. Yeah. Do you have anything to say, Damodar?
Well, I kind of have a question. You said at one point that Krishna was accommodating to the devotee according to what they wanted to do. So I was thinking of the past time when Krishna and Balaram entered the arena, and then
Yeah, very good example. Very good example.
And Nandamar saw him as their son, and Chinura and Mushtika, the rest of us saw him as like a formidable enemy or opponent, and the coward boy saw him as friends, and Kamsa saw him as inevitable death. So.
And the yogis saw him as the super soul.
Yeah. So the rasas are present, but when one is not engaging in devotional service, or is just engaging in fruitive activity, how is Krishna accommodating them?
He's accommodating them by, well, everyone is being accommodated. Some know it and some don't. Like,
What is their rasa?
and that's neutrality. Or, yeah, like, or for example, the demons, they're given liberation. So when they become liberated, they don't attain to a relationship with Krishna, but they have some neutral. They're like in limbo. They're like that.
Generally, it's understood that we're still conditioned souls. We're not acting in any kind of rasa.
That's right.
We're outside of our constitutional
Right.
position, so we have to be reinstated.
That's right.
That's what
That's
we're
right. Right. So we have to take up the process under the direct guidance of the spiritual master and the sadhus. Hare Krishna. And that's sadhu sangha is the key word here. By associating with like-minded persons and revealing our mind in confidence, then we can, and also taking advice like that. So that's because Krishna. It's not only that we can understand him by our own strength, but Krishna he can also play his part. That's out of his kindness. So not that we can demand or force him to reveal himself like that, but the only way we can ask for his kind mercy, and that is by sincerely praying and performing our different services like that. So Prabhupada explains in the Nectar of Devotion that for what's it called, lolium, or intense greed, he says that the ticket for the price of love of Godhead is our sincere crying. Not that we cry crocodile tears, but we have to cry, and if we can't cry wet tears as opposed to hot tears, then we have to cry that we can't cry. And if we can't cry that we can't cry, we have to cry that we can't cry that we can't cry. So just a few more minutes of, because Jiva Goswami explains that